Stop scrolling right now. This is not a coincidence, and it is certainly not an accident that this message has found its way to your screen at this exact moment in time. This is a divine, intentional interruption from the very throne room of heaven, orchestrated specifically for your weary heart. I, the Lord your God, the Creator of the universe, have reached out to pause your endless scrolling and quiet the chaotic noise around you, because I have an urgent, deeply personal word that you absolutely must hear today. Do not skip this, my beloved child. If you have been feeling exhausted, if you have been standing on the absolute edge of giving up, you must listen carefully to every single word I am about to speak. I see you. I see the heavy, suffocating weight you have been dragging around day after day, trying to convince the world that you are fine, when your soul is screaming for just a moment of rest. I see the tears you have cried in the dark, the ones you quickly wiped away before anyone could notice how close you were to completely breaking apart. You have been waiting for so incredibly long. You have been praying, holding on to a fragile thread of hope, constantly looking up at the sky and wondering if I have forgotten your address. You have asked yourself, in those quiet, desperate moments of the night, if your season of waiting will ever end, or if you are just destined to struggle while everyone else around you moves forward and receives their blessings. I am here right now to tell you that I have never, not for a single fraction of a millisecond, taken my eyes off you. I heard every silent groan. I caught every single bitter tear. You thought your prayers were just bouncing off the ceiling and falling back to the empty floor, but they were rising directly to me. You have been running on empty, surviving on fumes, whispering to me that you simply cannot take another step. You have looked at the closed doors, the delayed promises, and the silent skies, and the enemy has tried to whisper vicious, terrifying lies into your mind. He has tried to convince you that your waiting was actually a denial, that your hope was foolish, and that it is finally time to throw in the towel and accept defeat. But hear me today with absolute crystal clarity. Do not give up. Do not let go of that thread of faith, no matter how incredibly thin it feels right now. You are standing on the very threshold of the greatest breakthrough of your entire life. The excruciating weight that has tested every ounce of your spiritual and physical strength was not a punishment. It was my meticulous preparation. And I am stepping into your atmosphere right now to declare that the waiting season is officially over. Stay here. Open your guarded heart to me right now, because what I am about to reveal will change the entire trajectory of your future. My beautiful, resilient child, I know how incredibly difficult it has been to stand on the sidelines and watch other people receive their blessings while you felt completely stuck in the exact same place. You have attended the celebrations, you have smiled, you have congratulated others on their open doors, their financial breakthroughs, their healed relationships, and their new seasons. But the moment you were alone, you fell to your knees and whispered through tears, "Lord, when is it going to be my turn? When do I get to exhale? Did you pass over me?" You have wrestled with the deep, agonizing fear that you were somehow fundamentally flawed, that you missed your chance, or that I was actively punishing you for mistakes you made years ago. I command those toxic, paralyzing lies to leave your mind right now. I need you to hear this truth and let it anchor deep into your spirit. Your delay was never, ever a denial. I repeat this so your heart can finally rest. Your delay was not a denial. I was not holding back your blessing to torture you. I was holding it back to prepare you, to refine you, and to fiercely protect you. Listen to me with your spiritual ears. If I had opened those specific doors when you first begged me to, you would not have had the spiritual maturity, the emotional capacity, or the deep-rooted wisdom to sustain the massive weight of the blessing I have for you. If I had allowed certain people to stay in your life, their hidden toxicity, their secret jealousy, and their lack of vision would have absolutely sabotaged the destiny I am building for you. I allowed the doors to slam shut. I allowed the uncomfortable isolation. I allowed the fiery furnace of waiting because I was burning away your dependence on human validation. I was breaking off your people-pleasing habits. I was meticulously carving out your hidden insecurities so that when this massive breakthrough finally arrives, you will stand firm on solid rock, and no human being, no betrayal, and no economic storm will ever be able to shake you. The wilderness was not meant to starve you. It was meant to strip away everything that was holding you back. You thought you were being buried, but my beloved child, you were being planted. Every single time you chose to trust me in the dark, every time you held up your shield of faith when the enemy screamed that your life was over, you were building an unbreakable spiritual fortress. You survived the silent season because I was holding you together when you thought you were completely falling apart. I was the unseen glue holding your sanity intact when the pressure felt absolutely unbearable. And now the preparation is complete. The soil has been turned, the roots have grown deep, and the harvest you have cried over is fully ready to burst forth. My precious child, I know the intense spiritual warfare you have been enduring, especially in these most recent weeks and months. You have felt a heavy, oppressive cloud of anxiety trying to settle over your mind, attempting to choke the very life and joy out of your days. You have laid awake in the dead of the night, your heart racing, your thoughts spinning wildly out of control, replaying terrifying worst-case scenarios that the enemy has carefully projected onto the screen of your imagination. The adversary has seen the monumental generational shift that is about to take place in your life, and he is absolutely terrified of the powerful, anointed, and unbreakable person you are rapidly becoming. Because he cannot stop my hand from blessing you, he has tried desperately to attack your mind, hoping to convince you to give up and walk away right before you cross the finish line. He has whispered venomous, calculated lies into your spirit. He told you that you are fundamentally broken. He told you that your past mistakes, the ones you still secretly carry shame over, have permanently disqualified you from my grace. He pointed his finger at your current bank account, your physical pain, your lonely nights, and your broken relationships, and he laughed, telling you that absolutely nothing will ever change. I need you to recognize these dark thoughts for what they truly are: desperate, pathetic lies from a completely defeated enemy. I command you to stop agreeing with the voice of the one who wants to destroy your destiny. You must understand this profound spiritual truth. The attack on your life has been so incredibly intense, precisely because your promised blessing is so incredibly massive. The level of your current warfare is a direct, undeniable indicator of the magnitude of your upcoming victory. You are not losing your mind, and you are certainly not losing this battle. When the fear gripped your chest so tightly that you felt like you could barely pull oxygen into your lungs, I was right there, standing fiercely on guard over your spirit. When you felt entirely numb, paralyzed by the sheer volume of obstacles standing in front of you, my warring angels were actively surrounding your room, fighting off dark forces you could not even see. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of absolute power, of unconditional love, and of a sound, disciplined, and peaceful mind. I am washing away the heavy fog of confusion and despair from your brain right now. Feel my warm, comforting presence wrapping around you in this exact moment, permanently silencing the chaotic noise. The enemy thought he could completely break you in this waiting season, but he gravely miscalculated. Instead of breaking you, the immense pressure has forged you into an unstoppable warrior. The warfare is ending, and your season of ultimate triumph is breaking through the darkness. My precious beloved child, I want you to pause right now and look at yourself through my eyes for just a moment, for far too long. You have allowed the harsh, unforgiving voices of this chaotic world to dictate your worth. You have allowed past rejections, cruel words spoken by people who never truly knew your heart, and your own internal critic to paint a distorted, ugly picture of who you are. You have stood in front of the mirror, hyper-analyzing your perceived flaws, counting your past mistakes, and secretly wondering if you are simply unlovable or fundamentally broken. The incredibly long season of waiting made you feel entirely invisible, and in that lonely isolation, you started to believe the devastating lie that your life has no significant value, and that you are just a mistake taking up space in this vast universe. I am stepping in to completely shatter that demonic lie right now. I command the heavy, suffocating chains of low self-esteem, toxic shame, and self-hatred to break off your mind, your heart, and your spirit immediately. Hear me, and let this eternal truth penetrate down to the very marrow of your bones, straight to a cellular level. You are my absolute masterpiece. You are profoundly, deeply, and unconditionally loved, exactly as you are in this very second. You are not the sum of your past failures. You are not defined by the people who callously walked away from you or betrayed you when you needed them most. Their inability to see your immense radiant value does not decrease your worth. It merely exposes their own spiritual blindness. I knitted you together in your mother's womb with meticulous, intentional care. I breathed my very own life into your lungs, and I stamped my divine image upon your soul. You are royalty, and you belong to me. When I look at you from the throne room of heaven, I do not see a failure. I do not see the broken mess you think you are. I see a beautiful, resilient, fiercely brave warrior who has survived 100% of their absolute worst days. I see my chosen child, deeply cherished, highly favored, and fiercely protected. There is absolutely nothing you could ever do, no mistake you could ever make, and no dark depth you could ever fall to that would make me love you any less. The waiting season was never about rejecting you. It was about pulling you away from the toxic noise of the world so you could finally hear my voice calling you worthy. I am actively healing the deep, bleeding wounds of rejection right now. I am pouring my warm, soothing oil of grace over every single memory that brings you shame. Stand tall, roll your shoulders back, and wipe those tears from your eyes. You are not forgotten, you are not invisible, and you are far more precious to me than all the riches of this entire universe. My beloved child, because you stood firm through the agonizing delays, because you chose to hold on to a tiny sliver of faith when everything around you screamed for you to surrender, I am now stepping into the physical realm of your life to enact a massive, unprecedented breakthrough. Hear me, and let this prophetic declaration resonate through your entire being. The season of standing outside locked doors is officially, permanently over. The heavy, suffocating cycle of almost, not yet, and maybe later has been shattered by my sovereign command. I am shifting the atmosphere around your life right in this very moment. The winds of heaven have changed direction, and they are now blowing fiercely in your favor, carrying the abundant harvest you have watered with your tears for so many years. I am the God who opens doors that no human being, no corrupt system, no jealous co-worker, and no demonic force can ever shut. I tell you today, I have already swung wide open a door of monumental favor that was carved out specifically for your destiny before the foundations of the earth were laid. For every single door that was violently slammed in your face, leaving you weeping in rejection, I am replacing it with an opportunity so massive, so undeniably miraculous, that it will leave everyone around you in absolute awe. You will no longer have to push, hustle, or burn yourself out, trying to force your way into rooms where you do not belong. You do not have to beg for a seat at the table anymore. I have prepared a magnificent table specifically for you, right in the presence of those who doubted you and secretly hoped you would fail. What was stolen from you by deceitful people, what was drained by toxic relationships, and what you lost in the fiery furnace of your waiting season, I am restoring it all. I am bringing complete, holistic restoration to your finances, your physical health, your peace of mind, and your home. The locusts thought they had consumed your future, but I am multiplying what little you have left into an overflowing generational blessing. The miracles that are about to unfold in your daily life will be so mathematically impossible, so beyond human logic, that you will have no choice but to weep in sheer gratitude. The page is officially turning today. You have survived the brutal wilderness, and now, my precious child, you are stepping boldly into your glorious promised land. My beloved child, as you step over the threshold of this brand new, unprecedented season, there are crucial instructions you must heed to protect the massive harvest I am placing into your hands. You cannot carry the heavy, toxic baggage of your past wilderness into the glorious promise of your future. I am commanding you today to release the bitterness, the resentment, and the deep-seated anger that you have been harboring against those who hurt you, betrayed you, and callously walked away when you needed them most. I saw every tear they caused. I felt the agonizing sting of their betrayal right alongside you. But holding on to that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. You must let it go. Give the heavy burden of vengeance, justice, and closure entirely to me. I am your ultimate vindicator. I will prepare a magnificent table before you in the exact presence of your enemies. But you must sit at that table with a pure, unburdened heart, completely free from the heavy chains of your past. Furthermore, I need you to be hyper-aware of the subtle, cunning distractions that the enemy is going to send your way in this specific hour. Because he has utterly failed to stop my hand from blessing you, he will now attempt to distract you from fully enjoying and managing the breakthrough. He will send familiar spirits, old toxic cycles, and temporary shiny opportunities that look good on the outside, but are entirely disconnected from my divine will for your life. You must stay spiritually vigilant. Do not allow your focus to be pulled away by the loud, chaotic noise of the world or by the sudden, opportunistic reappearance of people who previously discarded you. Guard your hard-earned peace with the ferocity of a lion. Protect your time, your emotional energy, and your anointing. You have fought far too hard, cried far too many tears, and waited far too long to allow a momentary, foolish distraction to sabotage the magnificent, generational legacy we are actively building together. Most importantly, my precious child, as the profound blessings begin to rain down on your life, as the iron doors swing open and the provisions miraculously multiply, do not ever let the gift distract you from the giver. The brutal wilderness taught you how to cling to me in absolute desperation. Now this glorious promised land will test your ability to cling to me in overwhelming abundance. Keep your daily, intimate conversations with me alive. Continue to seek my face in the quiet, hidden moments of the morning before a demanding world asks for your attention. Your deep intimacy with me is the unbreakable, concrete anchor that will keep you steady when the winds of immense success and public favor begin to blow. I have trusted you with this massive breakthrough because I know the true purity of your heart. Walk closely by my side, follow my gentle whispers, and watch as I take you to breathtaking heights you never even dared to imagine in your wildest, most ambitious dreams. Listen to me closely now, my beautiful chosen child, because the way you walk through this newly opened door will determine the magnitude of the legacy you leave behind. For years, the brutal wilderness forced you into a posture of sheer survival. You lived day by day, merely trying to keep your head above the rising, chaotic waters of debt, sickness, and emotional despair. You felt like a victim of your circumstances, helplessly tossed around by the relentless waves of life. But I am fundamentally changing your posture today. You are no longer merely surviving. You are stepping into a profound era of divine authority, undeniable favor, and total fulfillment. I am removing the heavy garments of mourning and absolute exhaustion, and I am clothing you right now in the royal robes of my unshakable strength and triumphant victory. You must begin to speak over your life with the bold, unapologetic confidence of someone who intimately knows their Creator. Stop praying prayers of defeat. Stop asking me to merely help you survive the storm, and start commanding the winds and the waves to cease in my mighty name. Your words carry immense creative power. When you speak my promises over your finances, your health, and your family, you are actively partnering with my angels to bring heaven's reality directly into your earthly circumstances. Do not look at your current bank account or your medical reports with eyes of fear. Look at them through the unbreakable lens of my infinite provision and miraculous healing. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and never beneath. And every single place you walk into will be radically transformed by the heavy, radiant anointing you now carry. This new season is not just about personal relief, it is about generational impact. I have meticulously prepared you, not just so you can finally be comfortable, but so you can become a massive, unstoppable blessing to everyone around you. The deep, agonizing pain you survived is about to become the exact medicine that heals others. The financial breakthrough I am releasing to you will flow through your hands to build my kingdom and break the heavy chains of poverty off your family's bloodline forever. You are a pioneer, a cycle breaker, and a divine catalyst for change. Lift your head, square your shoulders, and walk into this week with the absolute certainty that the Creator of the universe is actively working behind the scenes, turning every single one of your past tears into a glorious, undeniable triumph. My beloved child, I want to specifically address a massive, crushing burden that has been sitting heavy on your chest and stealing your sleep for far too long. I am speaking directly about the intense, suffocating anxiety you have carried regarding your finances, your daily provision, and your future security. I saw the quiet moments you sat alone at your table, staring at mounting bills, doing the math over and over again in your head, and feeling a cold, paralyzing knot of panic form in your stomach when the numbers simply did not add up. I watched you silently stress over everyday expenses, counting every penny, and constantly sacrificing your own basic needs just to make sure your family and loved ones were taken care of. You have lived under the dark, heavy, exhausting cloud of lack, wondering if you would ever break free from the relentless cycle of debt and financial insecurity. You have looked up at me with hot tears in your eyes and asked if you were simply destined to struggle and scrape by for the rest of your life. Listen to the voice of your Creator right now and let this truth shatter your anxiety. The days of merely scraping by are completely and permanently over. I am Jehovah Jireh, your ultimate unfailing provider. Just as I miraculously provided daily manna for my people when they were wandering in a completely barren, lifeless wilderness, I am right now releasing divine supernatural provision into your current circumstances. The dry, cracked soil of your financial life is about to be completely saturated with the heavy, rushing rain of my abundance. I am actively commanding unexpected blessings, sudden career opportunities, and unforeseen favor to locate you in this exact season. Where there has been agonizing lack, there will soon be an overwhelming surplus. Where there has been crippling debt, I am orchestrating miraculous cancellations, raises, and financial freedom that will absolutely defy human logic and worldly economic forecasts. Do not look at the news, do not look at the global economy, and do not let your current bank statement dictate your faith. I am not limited by human economies, inflation, or physical constraints. I can take your small, seemingly insignificant resources, just as I took 5 loaves and 2 small fish, and multiply them so massively that you will not only have more than enough for yourself, but you will have plenty left over to become a massive blessing to your community. I am breaking the generational curse of poverty and struggle off your bloodline right in this very moment. You must evict the mindset of lack from your spirit. Open your empty hands, lift your head, and prepare your heart to receive. The financial breakthrough you have been desperately crying out for is no longer delayed. It is already in motion, and it is arriving at your front door. My precious child, as I continue to pour out my promises over your life, I want to gently touch another area that has been deeply broken during your wilderness season: your physical body and your mental health. I know exactly how incredibly tired you have been. I have seen the profound, bone-deep exhaustion that you carry with you every single day. This is not just a simple lack of sleep. This is a heavy spiritual fatigue that has physically manifested in your vessel. You have woken up morning after morning feeling completely drained, as if you had been fighting violent, exhausting battles in your sleep. And the truth is, you have. The chronic stress, the endless worrying over your future, the silent tears, and the heavy burdens you have carried for everyone else have taken a severe, agonizing toll on your physical and mental well-being. You have bravely pushed through the pain, plastering a smile on your face for your family, showing up for your responsibilities, and acting as the strong, unshakable foundation for everyone around you, even when you felt like you were completely shattering on the inside. You have suffered in silence with unexplainable aches, sudden physical ailments, and a heavy, suffocating fog of depression and anxiety that tried to permanently settle over your mind. The enemy's calculated plan was to physically and mentally deplete you to the point of absolute ruin, hoping you would not have the strength left to walk through the massive door of this new season. He wanted you too sick, too tired, and too mentally foggy to recognize your own breakthrough. But hear me today. I am the great physician, and I am stepping directly into your room right now to perform a miraculous, holistic healing. I am pouring my warm, soothing, divine oil of healing over your mind, your body, and your spirit. I command every single cell in your body to perfectly align with my original heavenly design. Where there has been chronic pain, I am bringing absolute, lasting relief. Where there has been lingering sickness, disease, or unexplainable fatigue, I am bringing total, miraculous cellular restoration. I am violently rebuking the spirit of heaviness and the dark, paralyzing cloud of depression that has tried to suffocate your daily joy. Take a deep breath right now. Feel my powerful presence washing over you like a gentle, cleansing river. I am restoring your vital energy, your lost passion, and your physical strength. You will no longer wake up dreading the demands of the day. You are going to wake up with a renewed, burning sense of purpose, a sharp, fiercely clear mind, and a physical body that feels unbelievably light, vibrant, and fully healed. The brutal days of barely dragging yourself through life are entirely over. I am breathing fresh, heavenly oxygen into your lungs and your spirit. Receive my ultimate healing touch right now, my beloved. You are being completely restored from the inside out, fully equipped and beautifully energized to sustain and enjoy the massive blessings of your brand new era. My beloved child, I now want to speak directly to the deep, aching loneliness that has characterized so much of your difficult journey. I know how heavily the crushing weight of isolation has pressed against your chest. Throughout this grueling wilderness season, you have felt like a solitary soldier fighting on a completely deserted battlefield. You looked around for support, for a shoulder to lean on, for someone to simply understand the immense, suffocating pressure you were under. But you found yourself standing entirely alone. You watched as people you deeply loved, people you poured your entire heart, soul, and hard-earned resources into, casually walked away when your season grew dark. You felt the sharp, breath-stealing sting of betrayal and abandonment, and it caused you to build massive, impenetrable stone walls around your heart, terrified to ever trust another human being again. But listen to me closely. Your season of painful, forced isolation is officially and permanently over. I allowed the separation because I had to meticulously remove those who were unequally yoked with your magnificent destiny. Their limited vision, their hidden jealousy, and their toxic mindsets would have absolutely poisoned the massive harvest I am bringing you into right now. They could not go where I am taking you. I had to pull you away into the quiet so you could learn to depend solely on my voice and discover your own unbreakable strength. But now that your spiritual foundation is solid rock, I am actively orchestrating divine, supernatural connections to enter your life. I am sending people into your path who will not drain your anointing, but will actively fan your flames and fiercely protect your peace. I am bringing you true loyal companions who will celebrate your victories without a single ounce of envy, and who will hold up your arms when you are too exhausted to keep fighting. These new relationships will not be based on what you can do for them or what you can provide, but on genuine, unconditional love and mutual respect. Furthermore, where there has been heartbreaking division within your own family, where bitter words and deep misunderstandings have torn sacred bonds apart, I am stepping in to bring miraculous, beautiful reconciliation. I am actively softening hardened hearts, removing the blinding scales of pride, and bridging painful gaps that seemed completely impossible to cross. You will no longer have to carry the weight of the world entirely on your own shoulders. I am building a strong, impenetrable fortress of community and pure love around you. Open your heavily guarded heart just a fraction more today, my precious child. Give me permission to tear down those towering walls of self-preservation. Do not let the painful ghosts of your past betrayals dictate the breathtaking beauty of your future connections. The right people, the ones I have specifically handpicked and prepared for this brand new glorious chapter of your life, are already on their way to you. My beautiful, unwavering child, I want to reveal another powerful dimension of the breakthrough that is currently unfolding in your life. For a very long time, your deepest struggles felt painfully public, while your small victories were kept entirely hidden in the shadows. People watched you stumble. They saw your tears, they noted your setbacks, and many of them quietly judged you from a safe distance. There were those who whispered behind your back, questioning your unwavering faith, mocking your relentless prayers, and secretly wondering why you continued to hold on when there was absolutely zero physical evidence that your circumstances were ever going to change. They looked at your heavily burdened life and wrongly concluded that you had been utterly defeated, that your best days were permanently behind you, and that you were simply never going to rise from the heavy ashes of your past. But hear me today with the absolute, undeniable authority of heaven. I am completely flipping the narrative of your life right in this very moment. The long season of hidden, quiet endurance is over. I am about to make your triumph so incredibly massive and so blindingly visible that absolutely no one around you will be able to deny what I am doing. I am actively preparing a magnificent, overflowing table of honor, peace, and abundant blessing for you, right in the exact presence of your enemies, your doubters, and those who casually walked away when you needed them most. They will be forced to stand at a distance and watch in sheer awe as I miraculously elevate you. They will see the undeniable, physical proof that the Creator of the universe has fiercely placed His hand of favor upon your life. The vindication you have silently cried out for is finally here. However, my precious child, you must deeply understand the divine purpose behind this public vindication. This massive elevation is not meant for you to boast, nor is it an opportunity for petty revenge or arrogance against those who deeply wronged you. You must keep your heart entirely pure and full of grace. This visible, undeniable breakthrough is designed to make your very life a living, breathing, walking testimony of my absolute faithfulness. When they look at your miraculous recovery, your sudden financial abundance, and your radiant, unshakable joy, they will have no choice but to acknowledge that only I could have orchestrated such a breathtaking masterpiece out of your brokenness. Your life will become a beacon of intense hope for those who are currently trapped in their own dark wilderness. Furthermore, this radiant victory is not just for you. It is actively breaking the heavy generational chains off your entire family bloodline. The agonizing battles you fought in the dark, the hot tears you cried in secret, and the unyielding faith you maintained in the wilderness have secured a glorious, lasting freedom for your children and your children's children. They will not have to fight the same exhausting demons of poverty, sickness, and depression that you fought. They will walk effortlessly in the brilliant light of the massive breakthrough you secured through your endurance. So lift your chin, my beloved. Do not shrink back or play small just to make others feel comfortable. Step boldly into the radiant spotlight of my magnificent, overwhelming grace. My beloved child, along with the massive physical, relational, and financial breakthroughs I am releasing to you right now, I am also handing you the most precious, vital, and sustaining gift of all, my supernatural, unshakable peace. For years, your mind has been an exhausting, chaotic battlefield. You have lived in a perpetual state of hypervigilance, constantly bracing yourself for the next disaster, and always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and always anticipating the next agonizing crisis. The severe trauma of your long, brutal wilderness season has conditioned your body and your spirit to expect pain. You have completely forgotten what it feels like to simply sit quietly in a room without your heart racing and your mind spinning through a million terrifying worst-case scenarios. I am stepping in today to completely rewire your spiritual and emotional responses. I am actively breathing a deep, profound, and heavy calmness into the very core of your soul right now. The peace I am giving you is not the fragile, temporary, and circumstantial peace that this world offers. A cheap peace that vanishes the exact moment you read a bad headline, receive an unexpected bill, or hear a negative rumor. The peace I am placing inside of you is an impenetrable, heavily armed fortress. It is a divine peace that completely surpasses all human logic and earthly understanding. It is a peace that makes absolutely no sense to the outside world, because you will remain perfectly calm in situations that would normally cause others to completely panic. Because of this profound peace, you are going to sleep deeply again. The chronic insomnia that was relentlessly fueled by fear, anxiety, and endless midnight calculations is being permanently evicted from your bedroom. When you lay your weary head on your pillow tonight, my warring angels will stand fierce guard at your door, and your racing mind will finally be completely still. Where there was thick, suffocating brain fog, overwhelming confusion, and crippling indecision, I am bringing sharp, divine clarity. You will know exactly what steps to take, what deals to make, and what paths to walk down, because my gentle, peaceful whisper will guide you flawlessly. You will no longer react to the challenges of life out of a posture of absolute panic. When sudden, unexpected winds blow, as they sometimes do in this fallen world, you will not crumble, you will not cry in despair, and you will not doubt my goodness. You will stand perfectly still, anchored incredibly deep in the absolute certainty that I am in complete control of your destiny. This new radiant peace will act as a heavy protective shield over your mind, instantly repelling every single fiery dart of anxiety the enemy tries to shoot your way. In this glorious new era, your greatest, most terrifying weapon against the darkness will be your unshakable, radiant peace. My precious child, now that you are walking in this unshakable peace and experiencing the overflowing, miraculous abundance of my provision, I want to gently open your spiritual eyes to the magnificent, overarching reason behind it all. I want to speak directly to your divine assignment and your ultimate purpose. You were not merely rescued from the brutal, exhausting wilderness just so you could live a comfortable, quiet, and insulated life. While I absolutely want you to deeply enjoy the profound rest, the restored health, and the financial blessings I am pouring out over your home, there is a much deeper, monumental calling resting heavily upon your life. You have a unique, completely irreplaceable purpose that was meticulously written into your spiritual DNA before the stars were even hung in the vast sky. For so long you looked at your deep, agonizing wounds and thought they were permanent disqualifiers. You thought your pain, your setbacks, and your past mistakes made you damaged goods in the eyes of heaven. But I am revealing to you today that your greatest misery is actively being transformed into your greatest, most powerful ministry. The excruciating trials you endured, the hot tears you cried in the dead of night, and the severe betrayals you survived were not random, chaotic accidents. They were the intense, rigorous training ground for your specific heavenly calling. You are now uniquely and powerfully equipped to reach broken people that absolutely no one else can reach. When you speak, your words will no longer be empty platitudes. They will carry the heavy, undeniable weight and authority of someone who has actually walked through the blazing fire and come out completely unsinged by my grace. Your beautifully healed wounds will become the exact, life-saving medicine that someone else desperately needs to survive their own dark night of the soul. There are people in your city, in your workplace, and in your extended family who are currently suffocating in the exact same darkness you just escaped. They are secretly begging for a lifeline, looking up at the sky and wondering if anyone cares, and I am appointing you to be the physical manifestation of my love for them. I am calling you out of the shadows of your past and directly into the brilliant, blinding light of your true purpose. Do not ever underestimate the massive generational impact of your daily obedience. Even your smallest acts of radical kindness, the quiet words of encouragement you offer to a broken stranger, and the way you unconditionally love those around you will create a massive, unstoppable ripple effect throughout eternity. Do not let the lingering, deceptive whispers of imposter syndrome tell you that you are unqualified or unready for this level of blessing and influence. Do not look at your past and count yourself out. I do not call the qualified. I meticulously, fiercely equip the called, and I have called you by your specific name. You are my chosen vessel, a radiant beacon of intense, unshakable hope in a world that is desperately searching for the truth. Step boldly and unapologetically into this divine assignment today. The world is actively waiting for the exact, unique light that only you can bring. My beautiful, resilient child, as you stand on the very edge of this magnificent, unprecedented breakthrough, I need to address one final, lingering shadow that is trying to desperately cling to your spirit. I'm talking about the subtle, paralyzing fear of the future and the deeply ingrained habit of self-sabotage. Because you have lived in a state of absolute survival for so incredibly long, and because you have experienced so many heartbreaking disappointments, exactly when you thought things were finally getting better, your mind has been conditioned to constantly expect failure. Even now, as you begin to feel the heavy, radiant warmth of my blessings pouring over your life, a small, terrified voice inside of you is whispering, "Is this actually real? Is it too good to be true? When is the other shoe going to drop? What if I lose it all again?" I command that spirit of fear, doubt, and self-sabotage to completely loose its grip on your mind right in this very moment. You must deeply understand that this terrifying hesitation is simply a trauma response from your brutal wilderness season. But hear me clearly, you are no longer in the wilderness. I am not a fragile, unpredictable universe that changes its mind, and I do not give you magnificent gifts only to cruelly snatch them away. The massive blessings, the financial overflow, the holistic, physical healing, and the divine connections I am bringing into your life right now do not come with an expiration date. I am not setting you up for a spectacular, painful fall. I am setting you up for a spectacular, enduring, generational victory that will absolutely redefine your entire family's legacy. The door to your painful past has been permanently slammed shut, and I have personally locked it with the heavy, unbreakable iron keys of my sovereign authority. You literally cannot go backward. The only path available to you now is forward, directly into the blinding, glorious light of your promised land. Do not let the lingering ghosts of your past trauma convince you to play small in this brand new era. Do not shrink back, do not apologize for your sudden success, and do not try to minimize or hide the absolute magnitude of what I am doing in your life just to make insecure, jealous people around you feel more comfortable. You are walking into an era of permanent, unshakable establishment. I am deeply rooting you in fertile, abundant soil where no economic drought, no sudden spiritual attack, and no unexpected human betrayal can ever uproot you again. You must boldly accept this new reality. Stretch your arms entirely wide to the overwhelming, miraculous goodness I'm sending your way right now. Breathe in the sweet, fragrant air of your absolute freedom. The heavy, rusting chains have been completely shattered. The agonizing emotional debts have been paid. The bitter tears have been wiped away, and your radiant, unstoppable future has officially arrived. My beloved chosen child, as we bring this divine appointment to a close, I want you to take one final deep breath right now. Inhale my profound, unshakable peace, and exhale every last trace of your lingering doubt. The monumental shift I have spoken over your life today is not a distant, abstract possibility. It is your immediate, unfolding reality. You have crossed the sacred threshold. The heavy iron gates of your long, brutal wilderness have permanently slammed shut behind you, and the radiant golden doors of your promised land are now standing wide open, waiting for you to walk through. From this exact moment forward, you will walk in the undeniable overflow of my miraculous provision. You will sleep deeply, wrapped securely in my supernatural peace. Your physical body and your exhausted mind will operate in total, vibrant health. And the deep, agonizing wounds of your past will become the very source of brilliant, life-saving light for someone else's terrifying darkness. I have officially broken the heavy, generational curses of poverty, depression, and failure off your bloodline forever. You are stepping into an era of unprecedented favor, massive public vindication, and beautiful, holistic restoration. The waiting season is done. The era of fulfillment is here. If your weary spirit bears witness to these powerful eternal truths today, if you can physically feel the heavy chains finally breaking off your mind and your heart as you hear these words, do not stay silent. I want you to boldly declare your faith and seal this divine covenant right now. Type Amen in the comments below, making a public, undeniable declaration to the heavenly realm and to the enemy that you are actively stepping into your brand new season. Claim this massive breakthrough with absolute, unapologetic confidence. Furthermore, my precious child, do not keep this life-saving light entirely to yourself. There is someone else, perhaps a friend, a family member, or a co-worker in your contacts, who is currently sitting in the exact same suffocating darkness you just escaped. They are secretly crying out for a lifeline today, wondering if anyone sees their pain. Be my hands and feet in their life. Share this specific message with them right now, and watch how I miraculously multiply the blessings in your own home when you choose to become a vessel of my rescue. Make sure you subscribe and stay deeply connected to this channel, for I will continue to speak fresh, prophetic, and fiercely personal words over your life in the days and weeks to come. Lift your head, my beautiful warrior. Square your shoulders and wipe your eyes. Your long, agonizing wait is officially over. Welcome to your glorious new beginning. I love you with an absolute, everlasting love, and I am with you always.